Hey Gators and sports fans, get all your Gator talk, news, analysis, and opinions on the Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning podcast. Find us on your favorite podcast platform or watch us on Facebook Live between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. every weekday. Pod Up, because we are Gator fans. So say, it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Good morning and welcome to a Monday edition of Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. We're coming to this remote location today down at the Country Club of Ocala. We're going to now go to the Titan MR hotline, and we are going to be joined by the one and the only Corn Dog. JC, good morning. How are you?
Hey. Good morning. You got big day down there in Ocala, huh? That sounds good.
Well, I got to play in one of these charity golf tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, those are my favorites.
Yeah, well, it's all a good cause. Listen, doing well. A great Father's Day weekend. I hope you had a good Father's Day weekend. Hope all the fathers had a really super Father's Day weekend. Got to do a lot of fun things with some of my, with both of my sons. And so I was happy to see also another father do very well yesterday in one Jon Rahm getting his first major victory, the U.S. Open. Right now, currently the number one player in the world. It's a great story because of what he has been through. So I think that was the headline story for me over the weekend, QB, was Jon Rahm.
Well, there's no question. It was outstanding. You picked Jon Rahm as one of your three golfers.
Yeah, my three.
My three all were in the top seven. It was a who's who when it comes to the PGA Tour. And, you know, we don't have a whole lot of golf fans out there, but if you got to watch any of that, it was phenomenal golf for a long period of time. They had about an hour stretch where all of them just basically stunk it up. But yeah, kudos to Jon Rahm, especially had what happened to him at the Memorial. You hate to see that, but
yeah,
you know, I don't know if people saw that. You know, Torrey Pines is where he won his first event on tour. Mm-hmm. It's where he proposed to his wife.
Yeah.
And now he wins his first major there. I'm going to go out on a limb, JC. I don't know what he's got a new little baby boy, I believe. I mean, a couple months old. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to predict his next kid will be named Torrey Rahm.
That's a great prediction there. Probably so. I mean, the place is a magic place for him. He said that as much. He said as much after his victory, and I think, you know, the way he won makes it even better because he kind of lurked during that final round, couldn't make a putt to get himself, but he, ahead, but he was still in position, and by birding those last two holes was just tremendous. And poor Louis, once again, 6-time runner-up in majors now. His driver let him down on 17 and 18. And really, it's just the same old story for Louis. Louis has played great golf. He is one of the world's best, but man, he is having a hard time getting over that hump and trying to get that second major. But he's good enough to where he's going to continue to have opportunities. I thought the rest of the field played really well. It was fun to watch. It was very entertaining. I think it was the biggest story in sports over the weekend for sure. And I think, you know, the crowds in California were very supportive. It was great to see him out there enjoying the U.S. Open at a great place, a wonderful venue. And Jon Rahm is the number one golfer right now, ranked in the world. And certainly with the way he won, hitting 2 left to right birdie putts on 17 and 18, really capped off just a tremendous round. And what really kind of surprised me, QB, was how so many golfers on the back nine yesterday completely imploded, including Bryson DeChambeau, who could literally not even hit a golf ball on that back nine, shooting, 43, 44, some ridiculous number after leading at the turn. So for some guys, it was a house of horrors. For Jon Rahm, it was the greatest moment of his golf career. And that is quite an opposite effect that we saw yesterday with different players. So, you know, a bunch of 77s, 78s yesterday. And but for Jon Rahm, it was the best day of his golfing life. So good for him. He's a really good golfer. He's a great guy, it seems like. Obviously a family guy, so to this point, and I'm really happy for the guy. I really do like the guy.
Yeah, it was. There were some great players. I mean, Koepka had his opportunities. He made a little comeback, had a couple of bad shots, errant shots, didn't get up and down, missed a few putts. But he's always going to be in the hunt no matter what. The DeChambeau. Here's the deal about DeChambeau, JC. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he is this may be a bad analogy, but he is that guy that goes to the Nike elite camps. And he's the guy that goes to that Nike elite camps. And he's the 6'4", 245-pound quarterback that, is wowing everybody in shorts, looks great. And yes, he's won a major and he's won some tournaments, but there's a lot of guys out there that have won majors that you never hear about him again. Not saying you won't hear about him again, but what I'm trying to say is everyone is enamored with him because of how hard he swings and how far he hits it. But he doesn't know where it's going. He has no idea where it's going.
It got him in trouble yesterday.
So my point of saying this is I could pick out about 5 guys on tour that it swung as hard as he did, could hit it just as far as him, but they don't, because the object is to shoot a good score and try to win the golf tournament. This is not a long drive championship. And that's why, in my opinion, he is that guy that everybody gets enamored with on the recruiting trail, that when it comes time, game in and game out, they don't play well. And I don't think he's that good. I really don't.
Listen, I mean, you got to be a pretty good player if you're leading going into the back nine on Sunday at the U.S. Open.
But JC, think about it. Freaking Rocco Mediate won the damn played Tiger. I mean, was Rocco a great golfer?
No, but Rocco never won a major either, and Rocco didn't win as many tournaments as Bryson has already won. So right. Rocco is not a great golfer, and I wouldn't compare either one of those two. I think it's a horrible comparison. But what I will tell you is that he's 26, 27 years old. He is very relatively young, and he's the kind of guy that will probably be smart enough, because he is very smart, to learn from what he just did. His mistakes will help him get better in the future. He has the physical capabilities of playing the game. He's really a good short game player, believe it or not. He gets all the attention on the tee box, but the guy is really good around the greens. He just had one of those back nines that we've all had. And it, unfortunately for him, came at the wrong time. But you're not going to see this guy disappear. He's got too much.
I didn't say he was going to disappear.
So he's not. I'm just telling you, dude. He's not. That's an awful comparison.
But what I'm saying, I don't think he's. Look, it's just my opinion, but he is that guy that wows everybody. You could poll America that doesn't watch golf, and all they care, all golf fans want to see is what? How far a guy can hit a ball. Do you think they care about a guy's iron play or sand play or getting up and down?
I do think golf fans like the short game. Why do you think Seve was so popular?
I'm talking about the average golf fan, not somebody that watches golf. I'm talking about somebody that turns it on and they've heard about this guy that has bulked up. Somehow he's bulked up. Okay, let's go there. Somehow he is bulked up in like 6 months, and how he swings as hard as he possibly can, but has no idea where it's going. That's what the fans that go to Top Golf enjoy. And that's why I'm just saying, Koepka, DJ, Justin Thomas, all these guys could hit it just as far as he can if they wanted to, is my point.
Well, we'll just leave it at that. I just think you'll see him in contention a lot more than you might think. And I also think he's going to learn from what he did. I mean, it's inconceivable to think somebody's going to shoot in the mid-40s on the back nine of the U.S. Open after he's led the tournament. I mean,
he was one shot. He was one shot ahead of about 6 guys that were just as good as him.
On the back nine. On the back nine. I don't care how good they were. The fact is that's where he was, and he blew himself up. Nobody did it to him. So he's going to learn from that. I don't think you're going to see that kind of thing constantly or consistently happen with him. If it does, then yeah, maybe he's a flash in the pan. I'm betting that you don't see that.
Well, he's going to have to change his game if he wants to win, is my point. Okay. Because the point I'm trying to make is everybody can swing as hard as he can and try to hit it that far. But those guys are much smarter because they keep it in play. So anyway, yes, Jon Rahm was outstanding. He's got game. Everybody knows he was due to win a major. And when it all comes down to it, he made 2 putts. It's all about putting at that level. He made the 2 putts. But Louis
But he
stays,
never,
man.
he never put himself in trouble either, though. I mean, he had birdie putts that he missed. He missed a bunch of birdie putts that he could have made. So he's always, so he was in the fairway off the tee. His approach shots did not go sideways, and he played very consistently. It's just that those 2 putts went in for him when they had to, and good for him. Louis is just snake bit when it comes to this deal. I don't know how else to put it. 6 runner-up finishes. It's too bad for him, but I think he's going to be the kind of guy that you see around the leaderboard constantly because of how consistent his game is. I mean, the guy hits it straight, and he's a good putter. So you'll see him again. I mean, he'll be there, but whether he wins or not is hard to say.
Yeah, it was a shame to see what Louis did. I mean, he plays a fade, and he hit a bad tee shot on 17 that he could have just hit it. He could have hit it 60 yards right to be safe. But anyway, congratulations to Jon Rahm. We got a couple of Facebook Lives brought to you by Mellon Law here. And Sandy says, how about Mackenzie Hughes hitting the ball in the tree? Well, he didn't hit it in the tree. He hit a bad errant shot. He hit the cart path and bounced into the tree. And that was a horrible break because he was only like 2 shots out at that time.
Yeah, I'd never seen that before. Bad break is right. He's just got stuck in the twigs. Look, I mean, it was good golf for everybody to watch. I mean, it was just tremendous. We didn't have a runaway winner. It was just great entertainment for a Father's Day Sunday. A lot of good players. I thought Morikawa was impressive with the way he battled back from shooting, I think, a 4 over in the first round. That guy showed what he's made of. He's got a PGA championship, so he was impressive. I think a lot of guys were very impressive, but I just couldn't believe so many guys blowing up on the back nine. But that's what happens to you sometimes in the U.S. Open. You work for 3.5 days thinking you can win 1 or 2 big holes, numbers show up, and then you just give up, or it's just too much to overcome and you can't win. But it's a learning experience for all these guys out there on tour, and even some of the best in the world just couldn't get over the hump with either a putt here or an approach shot there. I loved watching it. I'll tell you what else I love, QB, since I'm here limited today. The College World Series yesterday, I was very impressed with what Virginia was able to do, shutting out Tennessee, which surprised me. Maybe Tennessee was a little bit in over their skis. I didn't think that would happen. But I also didn't think we would see 21 Texas Longhorns strike out last night with a combination of Will Bednar and Landon Sims. Bednar with 15 strikeouts sets a school record, and I think a College World Series record in the amount of innings he pitched, for the amount of innings he's pitched. And I was somewhat surprised they took him out. But having said that, Sims did a great job, and so did the Texas pitching staff. Everybody overlooked how well Texas's guys pitched. They basically shut down Mississippi State the entire game, with the exception of a bloop triple that Cumbus hit. So a 2-1 win for Mississippi State gets them in the winner's bracket against Virginia. And then I still think you need to keep your eyes on the Texas Longhorns because they're a very good team, but they had not seen pitching like that in the Big 12. It wasn't like they were looking at Iowa State. They saw a pitcher that was probably pitching the best game of his life last night, had it going every way. The umpire had a nice liberal strike zone, which I love, and I thought it was a great night for Mississippi State. But I'm also impressed, QB, with what North Carolina State has been able to do here in the last 2 weeks because they've come out of nowhere. And then you've got Vanderbilt, who is as dangerous as anybody. I think we're setting up for a really great couple of days in Omaha.
Well, yeah, I predicted Vanderbilt playing Mississippi State for the national title. I still think it's going to happen. Tennessee, I watched a lot of the Tennessee game. They'd have guys on first and third or second and third, 4 straight innings and couldn't get a run in.
Couldn't get them in. Yeah. Well, that's just, I think maybe the lights are just too big for Tennessee. I'm not sure. Maybe that has nothing to do with it. I just know that Virginia, it has that tradition at the College World Series here under this coach. I think they've won it twice under him. I know it's at least once, maybe it's twice. Either way, they have played their best baseball, it seems like, at this time of year. I think Mississippi State and Virginia will be fun to watch. I think they're all fun to watch, but I was surprised too about Tennessee.
I had a trivia question for you, JC, retaining to the College World Series. You know who's been to the College World Series more than anyone else since 2009?
Since 2009, who has been to the College World Series more than anyone else? No. Who?
That would be the Florida Gators.
Oh, Florida.
Have been seven times. The other two teams behind them that have been 5 times are Virginia and Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt. Interesting.
How
Well,
about
that shows the strength of this conference, man. And, I think going into this tournament, I mean, right now we've got 2 SECs against 2 ACCs in the winners bracket. I love that. But I think it's pretty clear that this conference is the best in baseball. Texas hadn't seen pitching that good all season long. They couldn't figure out how to hit the guy. So, or Sims. So it was, one guy jerked it out, but that could happen on any swing. It's just that they missed a lot of baseballs. 21 strikeouts is pretty impressive. And then the final story that I was really impressed with was how the Atlanta Hawks win 3 out of 4 games in Philadelphia. The Sixers, I think, have lost something like they had only lost like 9 games all year in that building. And they lose 3 games to the Atlanta Hawks. And this kid, Kevin Herter, or whoever the hell he is, was out of his mind good yesterday, and good for the Atlanta Hawks. So now we've got the Atlanta Hawks, whose franchise was in St. Louis when they won the NBA championship in 1958. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks, who went to Brooklyn to win in overtime. They haven't won a championship since 1971. You got the LA Clippers still alive. They used to be in San Diego before that organization failed in San Diego, and they moved to LA. And then you've got the Phoenix Suns, who have never won. So the TV folks have got to be thrilled about this. And I think Phoenix is going to take out LA, because without Leonard, I don't think the Clippers have enough, even with the Suns not having Paul. And I think the Bucks and the Hawks are just a very interesting new name type of finals in the Eastern Conference that should show some, I think is interesting to the pure NBA fan, if there are any left. And it's because of the way those franchises have never won. So I find this very funny that you've got 4 basically no-name franchises playing for a title. I like it. I think it's good.
Yep. I think you're going to see the Bucks and the Suns play each other, so it should be a lot of fun. We got a Facebook Live brought to you by Melton Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Sandy wants to know, JC, become David Fay real quick, rules official. She wants to know what happens when it doesn't come out of the tree and it drops, a 2-point penalty. Well, it didn't come out of the tree, so you do have to take a penalty. Yeah, unplayable.
Right. Unplayable lie, so you just drop where you think it went in, I would guess. But that's just bad luck. I mean, I guess that tree was just thick. I don't know. I mean, look, you know what a good golfer would say, QB? The reason it happens is because I hit it there. I shouldn't have hit it there. Right. And so he kind of just, he lost his drive. That tree should not be in play. It's just bad luck for the poor guy.
That's the thing that I have never understood, whether it's a recreational golfer in your golf group, JC, or my golf group, or guys on tour. Mm-hmm. When they complain about is the
bad
rough
luck like
or bad lies.
Yeah.
If you don't hit it where they mow the grass, it's supposed to be a bad lie.
Yes, that I've
never understood that in my entire life.
Yeah, no, you're dead on with that.
When these guys hit it like 7 miles right on the fairway, and whether it's trampled down by the spectators, which usually that helps your lie, or it's buried in something. Well, this is a horrible lie. Well, damn, you weren't supposed to hit it over there, son.
Yeah, Justin Thomas hit a ball on the other side of a chain link fence yesterday. I mean, what are the chances that that's even in play, that would ever be in play? It's golf, right? I mean, we saw DeChambeau hit a ball 20 yards off the tee box at the TPC with a driver. I just don't know, man. I mean, that tree was not in play. Tough luck, dude. You just can't hit it there. Too bad. You created your own bad luck, just like you could create your own good luck. So, by maybe taking a chance. So you get what you deserve.
Yep, exactly. Refresh your vehicle and your brand with the vehicle wrap from Wrap Spot. June is your lucky month at Wrap Spot. Mention promo code Shane, receive 13% off your vehicle wrap. Speaking with JC on the Titan Tomorrow hotline, we got a few more minutes with him, and then I'm going to continue the show solo from the Country Club of Ocala down here for a golf event that I absolutely hate playing in scrambles. Oh my gosh.
So what are you doing there, QB?
Well, I'm helping out a buddy, it's what you do, JC.
It is what you do. Yeah. But I
literally rather go mow I-75
with
or go dig a ditch for somebody, and he's a ditch dug, than playing a scramble, but I'm going to suck it up.
Oh, wow. The sacrifices we make in this world.
Yes. You love scrambles. I hate scrambles.
I love scrambles. I mean, it's just an event. It's nothing that, I mean, what else am I going to do today?
Well, the biggest thing is my point is if I'm going to spend 4 hours, which usually scrambles are way longer than that. We all know. I like to be competitive and play my own ball.
Yeah, I know.
I sit here.
You just hate the format.
Basically, your group asks you to be Bryson DeChambeau is what they do. Yeah, swing as hard as you can, see how far it can go. And that is not fun to me.
Well, I mean, you can also try to make a few putts for your group. Right. It's just part of, we have some friends that love it because it gives them that team unity that people miss who haven't played in competitive sports. But I think, it's one way you can make a scramble better is take the C out and put an H in there and call it a shamble. That way you don't look for balls all day, and then you play your own ball after the best drive. I mean, that's one way to do it.
I don't know. Yeah, that is much better than a scramble. There's no question.
You can do a shamble.
We got a Facebook Live from John. He says, brought to you by Meldon Law. He says, JC, you got to switch up your hats when talking about the Hawks or the Suns. JC, are you wearing your Hawks hat? Because I
got the MS Baseball Mississippi State representative SEC Mississippi State hat on. I'll have either the Hawks or the Suns coming up here in the next couple of days. I've got the Tampa Bay Lightning still alive. Quick update for you. Vegas beat Montreal in overtime last night. That series is tied 2-2, which shocks me. But I think Vegas will win it in 6. Montreal has just lived off their goalie. They're not as good or fast as Vegas. Tampa plays the New York Islanders. That series also tied 2-2, so that series will have to go 6. I think that's tonight in Tampa, Game 5. I expect the Lightning to win that in 6 as well. So we'll hopefully see the 2 best teams in hockey throughout the season play. That would be, without Colorado, that would be Vegas and Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup Final.
Well, you're hoping the Lightning. I think you have to be a little surprised that it's a tied-up series.
The Islanders have showed a lot of guts. Beating Boston in 6, playing well. Barry Trotz is a winner. The Washington Capitals are the most idiotic organization in hockey. Here's a guy who wins you the first ever franchise Stanley Cup ever in franchise history. The next year they let him go. I mean, in fact, he didn't even get to the next year. He just didn't get re-signed. So Washington consequently has gone down the toilet. And here's the New York Islanders playing for a Stanley Cup with Barry Trotz. So, some organizations make these decisions, and that's why they're losers. The only reason Washington won it that year is because of the way they came together. Ovechkin was great. Barry Trotz was great. But since then, they haven't been a factor. And now here he is in New York. And they're making the Islanders win again. The Islanders are a historically winning franchise with 4 cups. I think it's going to be a 6-game series, but I like Tampa. I think they're better. All right, QB.
All right, JC, before we let you go, Rick says, JC, check your Facebook messages. So Rick sent you a Facebook message.
I appreciate that. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, that's JC joining us on the Titan MR hotline. Going to take our first time out of the program, pay some bills, come back, continue talking sports, taking your text. Got a bunch of texts here I need to read and Facebook Lives. You're watching and listening to Pot Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios. We'll be right back.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our gridiron sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility.
Meldon Law, won't back down.
Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, non-surgical regeneration, live pain-free.
South State Bank.
Celebration Point Town Center. Chris Doring Mortgage. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, Adams Rib Company, Doreen Wiebe Realtor Caldwell Banker, MM Parish, Gator Dominoes, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Wrap Spot, Okido America, Gators Dockside, Style Cuts, Ironwood Golf Course, Meadowbrook Golf Course, Silverback Concrete Company. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit potupwithshane.com and click the Advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Looking for all type of restaurant people, managers, servers, bartenders, hosts, cooks, dishwashers, bussers. If you think you're good in the restaurant business, then give us a call.
Spurrier's Gridiron Grill job fair is open now. All you have to do is go to spurriersdraft.com and fill out an application.
We're looking for the good team members, and we're looking for people with a wonderful attitude that can make Spurrier's Gridiron Grill the best we can possibly be. To apply, go to spurriersdraft.com.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Celebration points where the Gators go to celebrate with premium brands like Regal Cinemas, Dave & Buster's, Nike, Le Macaron French Pastries, Kilwins, and coming summer of 2021, the HBC's new restaurant, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and Visors Tailgate and Rooftop Bar. We will see you at Celebration Point where the Gators go to celebrate. I want to thank JC for joining us on the Titan MR hotline. Got a lot of things I want to cover here. We got a bunch of texts I need to read. I'm curious if anybody, I know that we just talked a lot of the U.S. Open, but I'm curious if a lot of our listeners watched any of the Olympic swimming trials, and the track and field trials are going on right now as well. But Olympic swim team is all set. I think the Gators had a tremendous outcome. Anthony Nesty is now going to be an assistant. If you missed that, he's going to be an assistant coach on the Olympic team. But the Gator men's team won every freestyle event. And then I was watching the other night. Obviously, Talia Bates, James Bates, and Tina Bates' daughter, she did a very good job competing out there. But there was a 15-year-old girl that made the Olympic team. I can't remember her name, but just seeing her, how she came. She was one of those long distance swimmers, but she poured it on her last lap to make the Olympic team at age 15. I mean, that is just phenomenal. Can you imagine age 15 going to compete for your country against the top swimmers in the world? Pretty crazy stuff. I got a text here on the Titan MR text line. It says, "Happy Monday, gents. The big winners from yesterday clearly were John Rahm, Mississippi State, and the Hawks, but thanks to Frank Stankunas and Silverback Concrete, I had a winning week as well. I need a fairly large driveway and parking pad poured for our son's wheelchair van, and folks are so dang busy, I couldn't even get someone to come get me a quote. But after hearing Mr. Stankunas on your podcast, I called him up, and he personally called me back last Saturday, and without even seeing the job, he said, 'Ryan, we will be there Monday, and you're going to have that driveway by the end of the week,' which is exactly what happened, and it looks great. If you need a concrete job, big or small, I highly recommend Silverback Concrete." Appreciate that, Ryan. Yeah. Stankunas and the boys there at Silverback Concrete are good people, and they do a tremendous job. Whatever you need done from a concrete standpoint, give them a call. Check them out on their website at silverbackconcrete.co. They're one of our sponsors as well. Appreciate that, Ryan. It's good to hear. Let's see. Richard says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. He says his biggest disappointment was Roy McIlroy. Roy had his chances. He missed a few putts here and there. I think all these top players in the world that were all on that leaderboard at one time, within like 1 to 2, 3 shots from the lead. I mean, it was crazy how many of the top players in the world were there. It was just one shot, one putt, just missing the green and getting a bad lie in the rough, causing a difficult chip, whatever it was. It just took them out of their game. And before you know it, it was only a 2-man race between Oosthuizen and John Rahm. And Louis made some mistakes. John Rahm did not, and he made some putts. Speaking of Louis Oosthuizen, I don't know if people are aware of this, but he just bought a huge, I think 150-acre horse farm in Ocala. He's also now a member at Golden Ocala, which is a tremendous golf course. They have so many great golf courses down here in Ocala. But yeah, he's going to be here locally living. And I like his demeanor too. He's a calm, cool customer. There's no question about that. College World Series, if you missed it, JC and I talked about it. Mississippi State wins, Tennessee loses. Vanderbilt won the day before. So Vanderbilt plays today in the winner's bracket. Tennessee just couldn't get any hits when they needed them. They loaded the bases up several times, couldn't get that key hit at all. John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, There are 4 teams left in the NBA playoffs, and 2 of them are the Suns and Hawks. I wonder what the odds were on those teams before the season making it to the conference finals. They were probably some pretty dang good odds, very high odds. I would have never thought the Hawks, for sure. And then Vince says, Shane, you need to take your Bruce Koepka glasses off when you evaluate Bryson. No, I just think, look, I'm an avid golfer. I've been doing it a long time. And I just know that, he's the leading driver on tour, only by about 10, 15 yards. But if everybody swung and tried to hit it as far as they wanted to, they could. But that's not golf. And that's what I don't understand. I mean, I do understand why he's doing it. He's trying to hit as far as you can, because the farther you hit it, and you got a shorter iron and you got a higher percentage of getting it close, but you bring so much stuff into play, and he is spraying it all over the ballpark. And my point is, Koepka, DJ, Justin Thomas, John Rahm, if you name any of those guys, if they swung as hard as they possibly could, every time they teed it up, they would hit it just as far. So I like Koepka. I don't like Bryson DeChambeau, but to each his own. Dan says, how did you like that shot on 17? Who stays unlost on? It's a shame. I mean, the canyon's there on your left. He plays a fade. You saw John Rahm, the couple holes before him, who also plays a fade, hit it way, way right into the where the spectators were, just to be safe. And unfortunately, Louis did not do that, and it cost him a chance to win his second major. He has the second longest streak of second place finishes in majors behind Phil Mickelson, but he's a good player, man. You hate to see that. Also, the Gators pick up 2 big recruits this weekend, and I don't know a whole lot about them. Hope to get somebody on in the next couple of days to talk Gator football, the recruiting process. Again, just because these guys committed verbally does not mean they won't change their mind. I want to say one of them is from the state of Alabama, so it's always good to get someone there as well. We got a text on the Titan MR text line from Joseph. Joseph said, could this be the fastest recruiting class at UF? Mullen bringing in a class to UF. Brian. Wait, I thought it said Joseph. It's Brian. My eyes are so bad. Could this be the fastest recruiting class at UF? I mean, it could be. Like I said, I don't follow recruiting. That's why we get Blake Alderman and Jason Higdon and these guys that do this on a daily basis join our programs to talk about recruiting. And we will get somebody on this week, because apparently the 2 that verbally committed yesterday on Father's Day are outstanding players, top rated guys. From a speed standpoint, I know that's what Mullen and these guys want. Will they be a good fit for the Gators? We don't know. But I guess it's an exciting time for the recruitniks, for sure. Again, if you missed in the NBA playoffs last night, Game 7, the Hawks go to Philly, upset the 76ers. Now they will be facing the Milwaukee Bucks. In Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals was yesterday. The Phoenix Suns, without Chris Paul, I'm not sure when he's expected back, will be joining when they expect him back. But they go up a 1-0 on the LA Clippers, who are playing without Kawhi Leonard. So there's a lot of big-time superstars not playing right now in the NBA playoffs. I have a text here on the Titan MR text line from Larry, and this is a tremendous question, and I don't know the answer. But I'm going to throw this out to our listeners. And if you want to send us a Facebook comment or a text on your thoughts, he says, how important is this year for Dan Mullen in year 4? Considering Georgia is supposed to be the top dog in the East, how important is this year 4 for Dan Mullen? It's a great question. I think Dan's done a tremendous job in his first 3 years. 3 New Year's Day bowl games. Obviously, the season didn't end the way you wanted it to last year, but that's in the past. I think it's going to be interesting to see what Dan does offensively. These are his recruits. Now, you got to remember, Kyle Trask was not one of his recruits. Kyle Pitts was not one of his recruits. Kadarius Toney was not one of his recruits. So we got to see what this offense is going to do. I think defensively, a lot of people think they're going to be improved. I think the biggest key to this defense are the acquisitions of the two defensive tackle transfers from Auburn and Penn State, because I thought that was the weakest part of the defense last year was the defensive line. I don't know if these guys are going to make it any better. Let's hope. But offensively, I think is the biggest question mark. Is you lost so many good players. Can you replace them? The offense will look different under Emory Jones, more run-oriented. They will throw it some, but you lost two tremendous playmakers in Toney and Pitts. So I think it's a big year. You get Alabama coming here, but as I've said many times on this show, I'd much rather beat Georgia. I'd trade a win over Georgia to a loss for Alabama, because if we beat Georgia, if we take care of all the other business, that means we go to Atlanta. We lose to Georgia, you ain't going to Atlanta. So, we shall see. But should be a fun year, and we will find out. Got another little text here on the Titan MR text line from Dustin. Dustin said, Judge Fabian's little brother just won Mr. Baseball. Think he'll be better than Judd? Think they'll play together? Another great question. Another good text. I don't know much about Judd's little brother. I don't know if he's projected to be as talented. I don't even know what position he plays. I would say Judd had a decent year this year. I don't think he had the year that everyone expected. But I think he's going to be a high draft pick, and you just can't turn down that money. Now, I remember having Cardozo on, or talking to Cardozo not too long ago, or maybe it was Steve Russell. There was a high number of strikeouts for Judd this year. Could that hurt him in the upcoming draft? Possibly, maybe not. The Major League Baseball has changed quite a bit. They don't care if you strike out a lot. He's a tremendous defensive outfitter, we all know. So that's a great question. Does he want to play with his brother? That would be pretty cool if he did come back. I don't think it happens, though. We got another text on the Titan MR text line. It comes from Lauren. Thanks for listening to the program, Lauren. It says, can the NBA handle a playoff with no KD, no LeBron, and no Steph? Does anyone care about CP, Giannis, and Kawhi? I think LeBron has rubbed a lot of fans of the NBA the wrong way for whatever reason. It is hard to believe that Steph didn't even make the playoffs, I don't think. KD played his tail off without Harden and Kyrie Irving, so the super team did not advance. I think it's good for the NBA, honestly. I think Giannis is one of the top players. Kawhi, we all know what he has done. He's one of the best players in the world, but he is injured right now. But I think it's great for Chris Paul. I think he does things the right way. It's a shame that he has to sit out, and I don't know how much longer he has to sit out due to COVID protocol. But I think it's good that you got 4 teams vying for a title. And I know none of them have won since like the mid to late 80s. And there's some teams that have never won a title. So I think it is, it's very good, honestly, that no KD, no LeBron, no Steph. Thanks for the text. We got another, let's see here, Facebook Live, brought to you by Meldon Law, the only official law firm partner of the Florida Gators. John says, what is the measuring stick? Every year we have gone to the New Year's Six Bowl. I expect another 10-win season in the New Year's Six Bowl, which isn't too bad. I think people were wanting us to get into the playoffs, John, honestly. I think that's going to be difficult until it expands. That's just my personal opinion right now. I will take 10 wins right now. If you tell me the Gators are going to win 10, I'll sign up for it in a heartbeat. There's so many question marks out there. But, I think, does it get to be the point where you win 10 or 11 games, but you're not playing for it all? Some people say that's what drove Coach Spurrier out of here. You always sit back and you think about what would have happened last year if Florida beats LSU. That game just changed the whole complexion of the year. and it went from downhill after that. Without this didn't play. Trask had his worst game as a Gator. The shoe throw, whatever. But if they win that game, Florida, do they win? They don't lose 4 games on the year, in my opinion. So anyway, quick read in here, and if you have any joint pain in your knees, shoulders, hip, or back that won't go away, you need to check out QC Kinetic consultation at QC Kinetics. 35 QC Kinetics, 352-400-40 Security System Studios, live from the Country Club of Mother's Day weekend. We're going to take our second time out of the program. We come back, we'll continue taking your questions, your Facebook Live questions, your text messages on the Titan MR hotline. You're watching and listening to Pod Up with Matthews in the Morning from the Crime Prevention Security System Studios.
We want to take this moment to thank all our sponsors who keep the show going and pay the bills. Our gridiron sponsors are Crime Prevention Security Systems, large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Titan MRI, Gainesville's only locally owned and operated MRI facility. Meldon Law, won't back down. Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's first choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte. Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. QC Kinetics, non-surgical regeneration, live pain-free. South State Bank, Celebration Point Town Center, Chris Doring Mortgage. Some of our touchdown sponsors are Big Mills Cheesesteaks, MB Listing, Cornerstone Financial, McDonald's of Gainesville, My IT Masters, Gainesville Neon and Signs, 84 Lumber, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Chick-fil-A on Archer Road, Avra and Smith, Dowling Signs, Chomp Carter Apparel, Ruse Ogra Agent, State Farm Insurance, Silver Cube Billiards and Sports Bar. If you are interested in promoting your business on the show, visit podupwithshane.com and click the advertise button. Again, thank you to all the great businesses that support the show. If you like what we are doing here, make sure to follow us and support the businesses that support us.
Looking for all type of restaurant people, managers, servers, bartenders, hosts, cooks, dishwashers, bussers. If you think you're good in the restaurant business, then give us a call.
Spurrier's Gridiron Grill job fair is open now. All you have to do is go to spurriersdraft.com and fill out an application.
We're looking for the good team members, and we're looking for people with a wonderful attitude that can make Spurrier's Gridiron Grill the best we can possibly be. To apply, go to spurriersdraft.com.
Welcome back to the Crime Prevention Security System Studios, large enough to serve you, small enough to care, coming to you remote from a remote location here in Ocala, the Country Club Ocala, great golf course. Center State Bank is now South State Bank, but we still put business first. We understand that small businesses need a community business partner that they can rely on. South State still has 4 convenient Alachua County locations. South State Bank, banking forward, member FDIC. If you want to shoot us a Facebook Live, please do. You can also send us a text. Got a couple texts here on the Titan MR text line. Benny chimes in and says, the Yankees have 3 triple plays in a month. That's more triple plays than the Diamondbacks have wins. That's not a question, but it's a wild stat. Benny, I don't watch the Major League Baseball until the playoffs start. So you're trying to tell me the Diamondbacks have only won 3 games in the month of June? That's crazy. They must stink. I don't even know how the Yankees are doing. Apparently the Rays are doing well, but I don't really follow it. Peachland Dentistry, Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. Visit them at peachlanddental.com. JC picked John Rahm on his 3rd pick, and he won it. He also had Tony Finau, I don't think made the cut. And then he had Mickelson, who shot about 8 or 9 over. My 3 golfers, not DeChambeau, Lord no. What am I thinking? Brooks Koepka, Xander Schauffele, and Colin Morikawa, all top 7. I was hoping one of them would pull it away. Another text here on the Titan MR text line. Getting a lot of texts today. Thank you guys for listening and chiming in. It comes from Terry. Terry says, with so many states adopting the NIL now, what's the difference in recruiting this year? Is it the new coaches? Look, we've talked a lot on my show about the name, image, and likeness. I don't think as many people are going to get as much money as they think. I saw where a couple of Gators on their Twitter accounts are now promoting their own clothing line. Good for them. However, who's going to buy that is my question. Gator fans out there listening to this show, are you going to buy Player X's T-shirts with his logo or brand name on there? I just don't see it happening. And I know I saw some of them basically putting out, I can't remember how they phrased it on their Twitter accounts, but saying, hey, I'm open for business. Contact me through Twitter if you want me to promote your business. Am I the only person thinking that ain't going to happen, except unless you're the starting quarterback or a Heisman Trophy contender for the award? Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see it happening. So if you think people are going to buy kids' clothing apparels and stuff, maybe I'm crazy, but I just don't see it happening. Another text here from Ian. Ian says, happy Father's Day, Shane. Wondering who's the best father-son Gator combo in Gator football history. That ain't even close. That's got to be the Jackson family. Willie Jackson Sr., Willie Jackson Jr., and Terry Jackson. I may be missing somebody, but I don't think it's close. And maybe somebody on Facebook Live can correct me, but that's the father-son combo I'm going with, the Jackson family. They all three had tremendous careers here at the University of Florida. At Comfort Temp, comfort is our business, peace of mind is our promise. Comfort Temp is now hiring team members with all levels of experience, great culture, and benefits, and an opportunity for growth. $1,000 sign-on bonus for qualified positions. Call them today. That's Comfort Temp at 352-376-2366. This day in sports in 2015 at the U.S. Open Men's Golf Championship at Chambers Bay. Jordan Spieth at age 21 becomes the youngest winner since 1923, and he won by one shot over Dustin Johnson and some guy named Louis Oosthuizen, who is going to be now living down in Marion County. So that's This Day in Sports, brought to you by our good friends at Comfort Temp. Don't forget, tomorrow we'll be joined by Buddy Martin. Get his thoughts. I know Buddy's a big golf fan. It's a great story that Jon Rahm, think about the tournament that he had a 6-shot lead in a couple of weeks ago. The Memorial is a big time tournament on tour, and it's taken away from him, and he has to go be quarantined. And then a couple of days before, he shows up out there in San Diego and wins. And if you missed it earlier, I talked about how important Torrey Pines has been to him. That's where he won his first ever tour event at Torrey Pines. That's where he proposed to his wife. And now he wins his first major at Torrey Pines. So it's been a tremendous run for Jon Rahm and his family at Torrey Pines. And I told JC, I bet he names his next kid Torrey. So congratulations to him. Recruiting. Gator recruiting had, as you missed it earlier, 2 big-time recruits this weekend. Hopefully we'll get somebody on this week on the program. Let us know all about these kids. Again, it's just a verbal commitment. Doesn't mean anything. These kids can change their mind, and it happens all the time. Let's see here. At Chris Doring Mortgage, they do mortgage lending right, helping home buyers throughout Gainesville and North Central Florida. Call Chris Doring Mortgage today at 352-244-0840. I got a question to all our listeners out there, because we have our staff that does a tremendous job researching and sending info. I've been watching a little bit of the track and field off and on, but it's usually on too late for me, and I go to bed. Has our man Holloway run out there yet? Grant Holloway? Does anyone know? I don't know if they've had his events yet. I know swimming is done. The Olympic teams are set. A lot of Gators represented there, including Anthony Nesty, the assistant coach. But if anyone has watched the track and field or understands it or what have you, let us know if Grant Holloway has qualified yet or not. I was just distracted because people were waving me here at the golf tournament. I told you I'm down here at the Country Club of Ocala, waiting to play in a golf event fundraiser. So it should be a fun day. Great golf course. However, I have to play a scramble. Got another text here on the Titan MR text line from Lawrence. He says, all the recruiting photos have the kids in blue helmets and white helmets. Are we going to start wearing a bunch of alternate uniforms? Oh, man, that's a great question. I'm a traditionalist, but that's what kids like. I mean, we wore the blue helmets, I think, one time last year at Tennessee. But what they do is when these kids come on their recruiting visits with their parents or what have you, they are allowed to do the whole photo session, pick out what uniform combination you want to wear. And I have seen quite a few of the blue and white helmets. I think the kids like to mix it up. The funniest thing to me is when they do these pictures, though, is when Coach Mullen or Billy Gonzalez or another assistant coach is in the picture with them. It cracks me up, the poses they have going on. But that's just what you have to do these days. So, I'm anxious to see. I know one of the top recruits we got is a linebacker out of the state of Alabama. I'm curious who else was on his radar. I'm sure Alabama and Auburn. But anytime you can get somebody out of there and he doesn't go to Tuscaloosa, it's a good thing. However, we don't know if Tuscaloosa even offered him. You know, you never really know. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday. We'll be joined by Buddy Martin. I'm hoping to get a recruiting expert on because, like I said, I don't follow recruiting. I know a lot of people out there want to hear about Gator recruiting. So anyway, I don't think there's any NBA games tonight. But hockey, I know there's a lot of nervous people. Tampa Bay Lightning is tied up 2-2. They play tonight in Tampa. So that's a huge game. Game 5 is crucial if the Lightning want to make it back to defend their Stanley Cup. And then the NBA, tomorrow's game is the LA Clippers game 2. LA Clippers at the Suns. And I don't believe the Eastern Conference Finals will start until Wednesdays. So anyway, that's pretty much today's show. I hope everyone out there had a wonderful, wonderful Father's Day weekend. I was a lazy bum. I ain't going to lie. I didn't do a whole lot. I watched a ton of golf the entire weekend because I love major championship golf. There's nothing like it. Watched a lot of college baseball. I'm pulling for Vanderbilt and Mississippi State. I want to see those two teams hook up in the College World Series finals. Today's show's a wrap, brought to you by Wrap Spot. Be safe out there, folks. We will see you tomorrow.